so make your kappa no loss. Remember.
Jubilations, jubilations, jubilations. When you hear the drums drumming, when you hear everybody jumping, you know it's football time and you know it's Naija football focus time. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. My name is Natokes and this is Football Fans Tribe. Over here we interview Naija football fans after matches and we're giving Naija football fan content back to back. So if you're new here, please just click that subscribe button and thank you so much for watching. So in the previous videos that you saw, the pre-roll to the show we've been seeing earlier on, first of all, you heard some people singing ole, 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 ole. That was the Rivers United players, as they were confirmed champions on Saturday last week, champions of NPFL 21-22. So they just went for a short light warm-up session, and then by the time they came back, they found out that their compatriots also chasing the league. They had come short, and then they were confirmed league winners of the NPFL 2021-2022 season. So there was a video after that one. That was the fans over there celebrating the win over Wiki Tories. I think that was Gombe United fans celebrating their win over Wiki Tories. I mean, it was a carnival. So I'm just going to roll those two videos back one more time and then we'll get the show started immediately after that. All right, so very, very beautiful scenes from the Nigerian local football scene. So my name is Stokes, like I said earlier, and I'm not doing this alone. I have with me Radio Asensio of WeFM Abuja. He's an avid football lover. I mean, this guy is everything when it comes to football, both locally and internationally. Asensio! Welcome, brother.
Good evening, brother. Good evening. Good evening. It's good to be back on the show. Rivers United, champions. What a weekend. What a weekend we had in the MPFL. What a weekend. From live score showing us 34 minutes to Rivers United winning the league.
Hey! Jesus Christ.
Hey,
we'll get into the matters arising, but how you doing, man?
We supposed to play crazy things are happening. Oh, I'm fine, brother. I'm fine.
I swear.
I'm fine. It's good to be back here. It's always lovely to talk sports, especially when it's our own football, Nigerian football, and of course the local league. Who will promote the league? If we don't promote that, who won't promote that for us? And that's why, of course, for those who are watching, should also, of course, like this video. If you want us to be coming up every time, they like, so share, share, like, and watch, help us so that we can, of course, always serve you the right content. It's good to be back, guys. Good to be back, Talks.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. All right. So, like I said earlier, we are getting into the NPFL Matchday 35 matters, and please just like this video to support us, and then like this video to support this kind of content, supporting our own in terms of local football and as well our local players and Nigerian players in general. All right, so these were the results of Matchday 35. But before we get into the results, let's see if we have some interesting comments to move by. And then Favor Osinachi says, always with this channel. He says, always with this channel. I agree to one day I go meet you now. Hopefully we'll meet you too. And then Wilson Chukwuemeka says, good evening everyone over there. Nice one. And then thank you so much for watching, Wilson. And Kalilu Fode says, good evening guys. Greetings from Sierra Leone. Greetings from this side. Nice one. And thank you so much for watching. All right, so let's get into the in total of the matters arising and the matters that were. All right, so these were the results of NPFL Matchday 35 over the weekend. Aqua United with a 2-1 win over Plateau United. Of course, that was a game that Super Eagles coach Jose Pesero attended and watched live there in Uyo, as well as he was also checking the stadium facilities at the Godswill Akpabio International Stadium. So he said, basically, waiting to talk, and I said, this stadium is a good stadium. It's a very, very nice stadium for football, and one or two things just need to be added. So hopefully, for people in Uyo, and when I go to see the Super Eagles back there very soon, but we'll see how it goes. So on with the results now, and the Niger Tornadoes with a 4-0 win over Kwara United Another one on that Aqua United Plateau United game. That was the game that decided the league winning for Rivers United as well, because as Plateau United lost that games and Rivers United had 10 points on top of the league, it was very, very clear that mathematically there was no way, even if they win on all their match 100 not, get how they want to use top Rivers United. So that was the confirmation game. Naija Tornadoes with a 4-0 win over Kwara United. On Sunday now and then, Nasarawa United with a 2-1 win over Rivers United. Who cares? You don't concern anybody. They don't win the league. And then Katsina United 3-2 over Remo Stars. That one was a 32 minutes added time game. We'll get there. And then Gombe United 2-1 win over Wiki Tourist. Of course, that was a derby. You saw the celebrations from the Gombe United fans as they filled the stadium just after the game. Very, very beautiful scenes to see. And the video credits on that to Andrew Randa and of course Usman Mohammed. I posted the video I think on his TikTok, or was it? And then Kano Pillars with a 1-0 win over Rangers International, fresh off their latest flurry of sanctions from the LMC. Some people have been debating, is it
sanctions
enough?
or forgiveness,
my brother. So
forgiveness.
Kano Pillars fresh off that, the 1-0 win over Rangers International. Sunshine Stars 2-1 MFM. Shooting Stars 2-2 draw with Abia Warriors. Very entertaining 4-goal thriller there. And the Lobby Stars with the 1-0 win over Akwa Ibom Bayside Dakada. Eyimba International led by Finidi one with a 0-0 draw against Heartland. All right, let's get into the results. Your thoughts on these results, Asensio?
Let me start with the first game. Aqua United against Plateau United. It was the first game of the weekend. The game where Plateau United knew that if they had won that game, or of course they were ensure the Premier League title race goes to yet another week. But it was a difficult task. They were playing against the defending champions in the league, who were on the verge of handing over their title, and it will be a shame for them not to wrap up the season in a good note. We know it is not impossible, but it will be very difficult for Aqua United to make it to the continent. It's not impossible, like I said. Anything can happen, but it will be very difficult for the three teams above, or the teams that are from third to fifth, to lose every of their single game until the end of the season. Of course, it was Aqua United. It was Aqua United who scored the first goal in the encounter. And then, even though Nasarawa Plateau United tried to come back in that encounter, it was too late, as they won that game in the watchful eye of Super Eagles coach Jose Pesero. It's a good one for them. One thing, it just shows the fact that Pesero is now watching the league. I hope he's identifying players. I spoke to, of course, the man whose hands are on Jose Pesero, Andrew Ikefe, and he told me it was good to see the Super Eagles coach come and watch them. He said, I asked him if some of the players were tensed. He said, not really, that they had to play their game. The fact that the man who decided
the pressure could be high, made them calm down a bit.
Exactly. Was also a motivation for them to go and play football. He said they wanted to win the game, but they knew it was a very difficult task to come to Uyo and pick up maximum point, knowing fully well that Aqua also need to win in such an encounter. So it was interesting, and I'm sure even Pesoro himself enjoyed that encounter, of course, in that one. So good one for them. The second game, ironically, the top 5 teams in the NPFL all lost this weekend. From, of course, the league leaders, Rivers United, Plateau United, Remo Stars, Enugu Rangers, and of course, the People's Elephant of Eyimba. In fact, Kwara United to that list. So the top 6 in the NPFL all played away from home, and they all lost their game. The top 6 played away from home, and every single of them lost, except Eyimba, who were home, but of course played out a goalless draw against, of course, Atlant. But in the second game, Naija Tornadoes against Kwara United, is operation we must avoid the drop. That's it for every team right now that plays its home game. You look at Naija Tornadoes, that win took them to 43 points. They were on 40 points in the NPFL. And the win shows that if they can get if they can win their final, maybe the last 2 home games of the season, or
anybody up to Wiki Tourist go.
Exactly. If they win and can get points, their goal difference is not bad. They have a negative of 5 goal difference. So it shows that if they can still hold their own, in the NPFL, then they can. But for Kwara United, it's just punctured their title ambition.
Yeah.
They of course they are Europe, they are continental ambition. I beg your pardon, not title ambition.
Yeah.
This season, but of course they will try again. 3 more games to go in the NPFL. But the 4-0 scoreline was quite heavy.
Very heavy,
It's
man.
something from a team that the Super Eagles coach was in their stadium the last time
Last
they
time
played
out,
a
yeah.
game to now losing scandalously is quite tough to take in that one. Moving on to, of course, the champions who were in action on Sunday, Nassarawa United against Rivers United. We all knew that game was going to be a straight one.
Yeah.
Rivers United have nothing to play for again this
Nothing to
season.
play
In
for.
fact, it's
They
time
don't
to
go
test
club on
players who have
Saturday
not played.
night.
It's time to test players who have not played at all this season for
Yeah,
Rivers
man.
United.
Yeah.
Players who have not, of course, got enough game time. It is only natural for Stanley Eguma and, of course, for Tayo Oshoy to give these players a run in so that they
Yeah.
can also see if these players will be fit for next season. I think for Rivers United, they should begin to prepare for the continent. That should be what they should do with the remaining 3 games of the NPFL as soon as possible. For Nassarawa United and Coach Balani Kiyu, it's a game that they needed to win to ensure they move out of the relegation dogfight. It's something that Nassarawa United would have. They don't want to be thrown into. They have 47 points. Before that game, they had, of course, 44 points. I look at 44 would have placed them somewhere around 15th position, which
Yeah.
meant that if they didn't win that game, they are still not automatically safe. They are not mathematically safe yet. The NPFL can deceive. You can see how can a team in
Yeah.
the top half of the table go on
Be
relegation,
relegation
and it can
threatened.
happen
Uh-huh.
if you
But
lose
it
your
can
last three
happen.
games and teams
Yeah, so
exactly and teams below you win their next 3 games, you'll find yourself in the relegation water. So good one for them, and a good one for Balani Kiyu and his boys are winning that one. Of course, moving on to the next game, that was of course the game that had the biggest controversy of the weekend: Katsina United versus Remo Stars. Now this game, I wanted to be very careful on air about this game because of the fact that we've had plenty of stories. Some said 32, 34, and of course, I knew that it would be an insane attitude for a referee to add such an amount under a game that was not played under floodlight.
as
So, which
in
meant that as at to 7 Nigerian time, if we go by our weather, it would have been seeing darkness
yes now.
and the game might have not hold because there was that. I don't think the game was played on that front line. That's why we play our games early enough so that
Yeah.
we can see ourselves. Now, this was it, and it's something the LMC need to reply. And I must say it, and I must call out the LMC chairman, Shehu Diko, that he
It's
needs to be
taking too
bold in
long.
his
This one is
decision
taking
making.
too long.
Yeah, it's taking too long because you look at the fact that some quarters of the media, I won't say it, are already tagging the league a section league, and it's a very, very bad insinuation if we let
It's
it go
bad
that way,
looking. It's bad
where some
looking.
teams are favored, with decision, and some other teams suffer in decision making. You look at that game, Remo Stars were trailing by 2 goals to 0, and there was no problem whatsoever with the
Nothing
live
happened.
streaming.
No, no, no,
The
no
Katsina
fans. No
United
fans
fans
went
don't
to
have a
disconnect
problem.
laptop.
They didn't have a problem with how the match was going. The moment Sikiru scored that brilliant goal, I must say it was a brilliant goal to make
Reminded
it,
me
of
of the
course,
turn from
two
was
one.
it Robson Kanu? Was it Euro 2018 for Wales? That kind of
Exactly,
turn just threw
and
two
then
men out of the
it,
equation.
it, and then he put the ball in the back of the net, and Remo scored the equalizing goal. Then the problem started, and that's where the biggest problem is in the NPFL.
Yeah,
How do you protect guys like us who want to go out there and do our
cover the games with good
job?
intentions.
You are
Yeah,
scared if you are not a fan, and if that the result goes elsewhere, you are scared of what will happen to you in the game, and that's what I felt transpired in that game. At 2-2, you seize the camera and the live streaming. Up until today, I beg to disagree. I don't think anybody has seen the third goal.
nowhere
It is
now.
only the Katsina
Something that was not
United
captured.
media that have the third goal. And I ask myself,
Now there are quarters that they said the third goal was a charade because there were indication of offside and the rest in that goal. Now this is minus the whole issue of the 32 minutes added. Although I understand that there was plenty of stoppage time, and you know these live scores and the rest application, they don't stop reading their time. They
Yeah.
assume the game is still going on
It's still going on
until the
till it comes
center
to an
referee
end.
blows the
Yeah.
final whistle.
Yeah.
Exactly, or until whoever is updating them tell them that the game has ended, and then they blow the final whistle, they just put a pause to the game. So I want to believe that's what transpired. And no sane referee we add 30 plus minutes to a 45-minute
This
game.
match.
It is crazy. It is ridiculous.
Okay.
And it's disastrous.
Unheard of,
It actually
unheard
happened
of, unheard
in
of,
the
guy.
NPFL. The LMC came out to clarify that it did not happen. So I want to believe the statement from the LMC.
We'll wait
Because I
now.
have
We'll
also
wait.
not
Let's
seen,
wait to see what.
yeah,
Hopefully by tomorrow, you
exactly.
get. But
We'll
already
see what they will
is
say
late
about
enough.
it's late because you look at, and of course, I am yet to also hear anything from Remo Stars.
Mhm.
That's the Remo Stars media
Yeah.
claiming that there was actually 32 minutes added. So if Remo Stars, who are the victim, are also keeping quiet to it, maybe there's plenty of exaggeration from the media. So if they cannot speak, we cannot speak for them. They have
Exactly.
to speak, but maybe they are comfortable with it. A draw would have placed Remo Stars in a very good position to seal third position in the NPFL, because if you go away and pick a draw and you have 2 more home games to play in the NPFL, which means if you fight for 6 of those points, 6 from 9, you can actually finish third in the NPFL. But
Yeah.
moving on away from that game, of course, Gombe United versus Wiki Tourists, where we saw a large pool of fans. This time around, something positive from the northern
Something
point
positive. Oh,
of the
thank God, though.
NPFL, and
Yeah.
I must say the fans came out in number, but again, crowd control, it's a big problem in the NPFL. Now, talks. Let's switch the tide. Gombe United 1, Wiki Tourists 2. Imagine what could have happened in
This
that
same
stadium.
crowd.
And exactly, when we look at the positive that the fans are excited, we look at it because the result went to the home side.
Yeah.
Now imagine if the result went the other way around. It will be a disaster.
The
And
thing
that's
is
why
that
I must
NPFL
admit
fans,
and I must
home
beg,
fans, need to
and I
learn.
must beg. They need to learn a whole lot. And I
Need
must
to.
also beg and appeal to the management of the Nigerian Professional Football League on crowd control. If we do not have enough security personnel to control the crowd, do not let this huge number of fans get into the stadium.
Simple.
We know the northern guys want to watch football, but reduce the number, because it could get really, really bad that we will not be able to control the situation. And good one for Gombe United, 2-1 win against Wiki Tourists puts
Fair
them in a
enough.
good position on the log also.
Yeah.
And hopefully that win can also see them survive the drop this season. Because for some teams, if you're not going for continental football, it is definitely Operation How Do I Survive going down in the NPFL. See,
Yes, sir.
the NNL is harder than the NPFL. If you go to the NNL, especially if you are not the big team, you will suffer to come back. It is harder than. See, we complain of officiating in the NPFL. What happens in the NNL is worse
Yeah,
than what happens in the
cliche,
NPFL.
weekly
So
cliche.
exactly, we receive address, and every day,
They cry.
every weekend they drop video. They cry. It seems like Oshi United, I pray they are relegated from the NNL. That team, their fans are one of the worst fans in Nigerian league. I saw that
We
thing
need to
first
do
time when I
better. We
served in
need to do
Oshu.
better.
Those guys, if they lose, if they lose a game, those guys will go berserk on you. Well, moving on to the next game, that's
Yes,
Kano
sir.
Pillars versus
Rangers.
I think Enugu Rangers, Kano Pillars. And now, I think the LMC made a statement. We talked about it at the last for the review of Matchday 34,
Yeah.
where we spoke about Kano Pillars and the sanction we should expect from them.
Yeah.
We're thinking that the LMC was going to take a point that will automatically relegate Kano Pillars, but instead, no point was deducted. I take you back to April, where 19th of April or 20th specifically, where the LMC said if Kano Pillars repeats the same incident again, they gave them a 3-point suspension, and that time it will be removed.
Yeah.
Then they will also take further sanctions. But when Kano Pillars repeated similar incidents, this time around,
The suspended
LMC
one
in
was
their
not
wise
was
wisdom
not deducted. The current one that you said
was
will
not
be deducted.
deducted,
Guy.
and then you now said they were going to give them a 2-point
not even taking it off at that moment, but it's suspended 2-point deduction.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go from doing 3 points to now reducing it to 2 points? Meanwhile, you failed to address also that there was a goal that led to that 1-0 win. That was a terrible decision. Nobody talked about it. The referees were under duress to award a goal, to cancel a goal that should have not been cancelled. But there we are, Kano Pillars played their game, and Rabi Ali scored very early in that encounter via a penalty, and then, which was also controversial. Because I saw the video. It looked like the player headed the ball, but of course the center referee in his wise wisdom said it was a penalty. And then Ben,
we'll give it to the center referee.
and Rangers lost
his
that
wealth
game
of wisdom
by a goal to nil. See, it is shameful that the NPFL at this point is having lots of bad decisions. You ask yourself, why
is that point of the season now? Is that point of the season
in African football?
Is that point of the season where every result has a great implication?
When referees and when referees make decisions that makes you wonder whether you need to also take up a refereeing course so that you can do better. But of course, we hear some of these referees are scared for their life, and some of them are lobbying to go to these kind of centers, quote and unquote, where if they make a decision that favors the home team, you know, they could smile to the bank. But that's of course what we hear outside, of course, of the league.
Yeah.
But the next game, Sunshine Stars MFM. I have to say this: if you are a lover of MFM, prepare for life for games like MFM versus Ikorodu United in the Lagos derby, because it's official. Welcome to the NNL Mountain of Fire Ministries. Football is supposed to be enjoyed. We love the private sector footballing, but when you cannot put your house in order, this is what you get. For a team that struggled to maintain coaches, and administratively MFN have struggled, it is no surprise they have the worst goal difference in the NPFL, and they have the worst points in the NPFL. 36 points after 35 games. That's an average of just 1 point per game, and it only tells you that if you do so in any league in the world, you will go on relegation.
You're going down for sure.
For MFM, it is already confirmed. I know miracles happened. I know we've seen miracles in the world of football. We've seen it
not
with
this
Real
one.
Madrid in the Just Conquer Champions League, but not this miracle.
No miracle come happening here, bro.
If they kabash, if they pray, there is no miracle.
It's done. It's done and dusted.
Going down.
It's just to put the nail in the coffin.
And MFM will be relegated come the end of the season. Of course, another interesting game that transpired: Shooting Stars versus Abia Warriors. Shooting Stars, they have learned their lessons. If their fans are probably, of course, I think that this was the last game without fans. If they are done, maybe try to do what they did to Toby Adepoju, one of our own, after drawing the game. They knew what exactly will come for them. So, but it was a good one for Amapakaba and his boys, Abia Warriors, going away from home to get a result in the NPFL. I've complained of Abia Warriors' form this season. Their form away from home has been quite worrisome, but unfortunately they were able to go there and get a point that momentarily took them off the relegation zone, which means that they are condemned to win their last 2 home games of the season. If they do so, then I am 100% sure that Abia Warriors will just survive going down in the NPFL this season. Of course, the next game should be
that was 1-0. Lobby Stars 1-0 Dakada
against Dakada. Of course, Baba Ganaru doing the needful. Dakada, after enjoying themselves in the Uyo Derby, beating, of course, Aqua United for the very first time, went down to Lobby Stars. Lobby Stars also needed this victory. When Baba Ganaru came in, he knew the job was to steady the ship. The boys were somewhere sinking in relegation waters. It's not like they are safe yet, but there's still hope. For Lobby Stars, 1-0 win, they will take the 3 points. The 3 points is better than a 1-1 draw or a goalless draw. So for Lobby Stars right now, it's a positive result in the final 3 games of the season. And the last game of the NPFL, Enyimba, that went down this weekend, Enyimba versus Atland. I must say, it was a disappointing game for Enyimba. You look at the fact that every other team they were chasing this weekend played away from home. And there was a chance for Finidi George and his boys to win this. I want to say it authoritatively: Enyimba will not go to the continent, and I find it, and I feel very, very sad
Yeah.
Because Enyimba would have been a better representation, I must be honest, than Remo Stars. If Remo Stars go and represent us, Remo are a building and a selling club. Remo
But then we
are
don't
like
know all these
Southampton.
things in football. You will never know till you know. Remo might just come
Ye-
and shock everybody.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
understand? If they are given the
Well,
opportunity.
uh, yeah, I know. But I don't. Remo really want to bring in a player like Akuneto if he doesn't move abroad. Would
Exactly.
they want to bring him to the club? Would they really
Exactly.
because they feel that in their academy they have players like Kuneto. Instead, Remo will probably sell one of their best legs to CD Ferenczi in the Portuguese league. One player that is standard for them might just go to Ferenczi in the
Crucial.
Portuguese league next season because
Crucial.
they have a very strong tie. Their former coach before Gumbote took over is currently at that club, so they will want to sell and make more money. But maybe they may be forced to also because they are playing the continent rethink their strategy because we know at the start of the season the
Should they
target
should
for
they should
Remo
keep they
was
should
to
keep
just
as
stay in
many
the
of their
NPFL.
players. Yeah. Keep as many of your
Yeah, so it
players.
was just to
Sign
stay
a
in the
couple or
NPFL
5 more self to add because
more
you should be going to
because
the
they need
continent to compete.
and not just play the numbers because it
Mm-hmm.
would be a shame that the
Yeah.
Nigerian side will go and to want to make up the number. These guys have a very good stadium.
Mm-hmm.
They have a very good own. They have a very good management team.
Yeah.
That can afford to take these players anywhere. So for me, for anybody not winning that game against Atlant is a very big blow, and that has automatically affected their chances
Of the
on the
continent.
NPFL log. I
Yeah.
do hope that they are able. I don't know if they can make a miracle 52 points with 1 point behind Remo, but Remo have the advantage with 2 home games left,
Mm.
and same as Enugu Rangers. So Rangers will and Remo look like the team that are most likely to clinch that one. For Enyimba and Kwara United, it is all hope is not lost, but Kwara United negative of 7 goal difference makes it a very difficult one for them. So for
Yeah.
me, I think Enyimba goofed. They could have gotten something from that Atlant game, and the result also meant that Atlant can also dream that they can actually beat the drop this season because
Yes,
a
indeed.
point in Aba will only spur them to go elsewhere and of course get positive results in the NPFL. By and large, it was a good weekend,
Yeah.
except the of course
Drama.
unhealthy football news we got from
Yeah.
several centers.
Yeah.
Kano, of course, Katsina. It shouldn't be the northern part of Nigeria.
This
We don't
shouldn't
want
be
to
the
see
norm.
it,
Yeah.
and of course, it shouldn't be a norm that it's there and it's bound to happen. That's
Yeah.
something we want to change, and we'll keep talking about it until it changes.
Yes, indeed. Nice one. Nice breakdown of the results from NPFL Matchday 35. And then, as we said earlier, Rivers United were confirmed champions. As you can see, Coach Stanley Eguma in the middle of everything. I mean, that man deserves deserves all the joy he should be getting at the moment. Alongside
I'm
the
telling
Fata, he will
you, it's
show
not easy.
it's not easy. They have tried, and it is what it is. So, congratulations to the Rivers United team, champions of the MPFL. And then they should be awarded the trophy, I think, on the final match day where their game against, I think it's
Their
going to be
final home
United.
game.
Yeah, I think it's going to be United. That
Yeah.
should be the game that they will receive the trophy. And then we move. All right, on to Nigerian players abroad as we normally do. So we talked about this wedding previously, but then the official picture started dropping, and then just imagine the drip from Paul Onuachu's wedding. Left to
Um,
right, Frank Onyeka,
um,
Vic Osimhen, Onuachu. We have goalkeeper Francis Uzoho,
Zo,
Chidozie Awaziem, and there's some other gentlemen that we
Imo Ezekiel.
yeah, Imo Ezekiel. Good. So the boys were seriously dripping in that wedding. And of course, another news from Nigerian players based abroad.
Talks. Just to add, and person say make I no born pikin wey go play ball. See footballers now, see freshness.
They are mad. Nobody will even tell me that one
Like,
self.
if you don't play ball, I go do DNA test.
Hey God, from bed. First they bounce on small
From
ball, up the
bed.
mama belle first. They bounce on
From bed.
small. They bounce on small.
As at 18 months, if I say you know they kick anything for house, you know they kick. I go do DNA. I need to know whether na me bring the child
Go
come this
confirm
world.
whether an original copy.
I tell you, man.
All right, on to this man, our star player from AFCON 2021, of course, held earlier this year. Simon.
I have the freedom to play.
Yeah. So Moses Simon currently being linked with a move to the Premier League to replace the outgoing Rafinha. Leeds United maybe, and then some reports were surfacing this morning from RMC Sports based in France, saying that he will be moving on to OGC Nice, which is like moving
I
from
think I
Nantes to
think
Nice. I don't know. I just be
well,
like, what would be the difference? Why?
continental football, continental football,
Omo,
European football is, the Premier League might be the ideal, but let's be realistic. Coming to fill the shoes of Rafinha and look at the way Leeds United struggled. The man has thought of a whole lot of things. In the Premier League is definitely a good exposure for Moses Simon, no doubt about it. But for some players in a league where we must be realistic with ourselves, our wingers have not cut it out in of course some couple of years right now. The Nigerian players that are there, Alex Iwobi is still is quite struggling. We must be realistic until now that he's playing a new defined role. And Simon has seen where in a place where he's comfortable, And remember, the last season was his best season ever in the French league.
For me, he shouldn't leave
It's not like
Nantes.
he's made.
There's no need leaving Nantes to OGC
Well, he
Nice.
shouldn't have left Nantes, but if the price is right, maybe that's why. Remember, the man who won the league title for Lille, the former coach of Lille, moved to OGC Nice last season. Christopher Gaya. So it might be a deciding factor that if a coach of that gratitude is in this club and wants me, and Nice were almost making.
Gautier is on his way to PSG. Gautier they go PSG. He's the new PSG manager now. He had some disagreements with the board. Same kind of disagreements he had with the people at Lille as well. So that club, there's a bit of imbalance there. But then
maybe continental football is the reason. He will play in the conference league. They will play in the conference league. They were just 3 points shy of making it to the Champions League, which would have been a very, very big platform for him. So we probably say Nantes last season we almost fought for relegation all through the season. If I make the step up to a club that will play in the continent, and then I can also impress, maybe try to get them to Champions League football. Who says that Premier League move cannot finally come? Maybe it's bidding his time, and of course I'll stay one more year in France and then see what happens. If he goes to Leeds and Leeds struggle and eventually goes on relegation, he begins to find club, and it will not be good for him, because if Leeds do not get the right offer, especially when he struggles, it becomes a very big problem for Moses Simon. I think he should remain in France for now, and still play one more season. Moses Simon last season hit double digit for both goals and assists very well.
Exactly.
But if he can do it consistently this season, and it was also for the Mark Vivian Foe nomination. If he can do it this season again, this new season that is coming, next season, I beg your pardon, then I can say he's now very much ready to make the move to a bigger league. For now, I think he should remain there for at least one more season. But if the money is right, come off it. It's about the money, If the dollar is right,
if the naira is right, if the pounds and the euros are right,
move. Yeah, just make the move.
All right. Okay. We'll just take some of your comments that came in during the show, and then we'll wrap it up. All right. I think you had a shout out in the comment section. All right. This one from. Hold up. It's on the screen right now, but I can't read it. Where's this guy? Okay, this one from Ogudimbola Oluwafemi. He said, Radio Asensio, you are really vibrant and spot on with your analysis about African game and trying to add in Nigerian transfers all over the world. That's a shout out to you. And then the super chat from Ademola Victor TV. Thank you so much. He said, awesome, guys. Thank you so much, Ademola. Nice one. We appreciate you for the support. And then, as we said earlier in the show, please make sure you like this video, because we need those likes so that the video can reach more people and we move. All right, on to the rest of the comments that came in. Okay, let's see. Ndumele Real says, hello, I'm watching from Senegal. I hope you enjoyed the show, talking about Nigerian local football, and of course, our local league and Nigerian players abroad as well. All right, on to the final comment that we'll be taking, and then this one from the United. Okay, this one from Sancho JSF. He said, why do Nigerian players always make wrong decisions? Why go to Nice when you can come to the Premiership? I think that just boils down to what you were making, the point you were making earlier about the money being right